how are you doing? It's Justin Crypto. I'm back with, in my opinion, the easiest and best setup to make a shit ton of money in crypto right now. Longing Avalanche, AVAX. I think many of you must know AVAX and Avalanche. It was a pretty hyped coin last bull cycle, and it is definitely not given that AVAX is gonna put in a new high. But what is definitely given is that AVAX didn't really move as we speak, and that we are forming very, very interesting things here on the chart that, in my opinion, are worth taking a look at today. Starting out on the weekly, I want to define a level here, which actually is the double bottom pattern that provided, let's say, the liquidity for one of the major pumps within the last cycle. If I go to the daily chart, guys, we can actually see that, okay, we have something like a W pattern that is building or was building here actually around the $8.50 level. How do I see that this is a W? And let me get rid of the liquidity level from before. How do I see that this is a W? I mean, I just see it. So literally, guys, you can see that it formed the bottom and the second bottom is a bit higher. So that shows that actually buying pressure came in before it reached that bottom. People are aware that this is a W. In my opinion, you can also make the case that this is a so-called wave 1. So this is a push up. Okay, so you have your wave 2 and now you should be in your wave 3. And your wave 3, as many of you know, is a very, very impulsive and a very strong wave. So in my opinion, I think that we are looking at a 1-2 setup and we are in the wave 3 expansion now. So putting a line here and actually saying, okay, where was this W confirmed? Where did it break out? And where is my level I should put a stop loss to? I think either putting the line here, because you have those two candle closes on the daily at the $10.80 level, or actually doing it here if you want to play it a bit more safe, which would be the $10.50 level. And I think that to all of you, it gets very clear, or like it is easy to see. I mean, this is a massive W pattern, okay? So in theory, I mean, I'm not a fan of this, and I just had another analyst on the phone, and he also doesn't like it. But in theory, you measure like this to the bottom, and then you should know where this W is at minimum gonna take you, putting into the point of breakout, which already happened. It should give you a price target around $13.20. But guys, why do I show you this setup, and why do I think that this is way bigger than $13 and 30 cents or some bullshit? Have a look. What I really like in crypto is that all of these charts, they are kind of mirroring again what they did once already, and they form the same kind of pattern. So take it with a grain of salt, guys, but in my opinion, we already saw a massive W pattern on Avalanche with the same kind of style, where the second bottom is just slightly higher than the first one already. And this was actually breaking out, or like it took a month to form, like from 22nd of June to 21st of July, and then it broke. And once it broke, guys, once it was gone, it just literally flew. Okay, so it just trended up sideways, and then boom, it was literally going. So looking at this, guys, I just have to tell you, I really do think that this W got replicated down here, and we are actually on the verge to do something like that. And this is not a joke. I mean, maybe not that crazy in the first place. Obviously, you have a lot of resistance coming in, but once you clear that out, I mean, you can definitely at least retrace very, very well for AVAX. If not, you stabilize yourself on top of these levels or something, and then actually you go higher and create a new higher. This always depends, but in my opinion, guys, this W has been formed already once. It was the indicator of, or like the start of a 1000% move, a 10x move for AVAX. And in my opinion, this W we see here once again, going to the 4-hour candles here, you have a pretty clear double bottom, okay? The second bottom is higher than the first. That means that buying pressure came in. People were aware that if this one comes down, this is the area I want to scoop it at. This exactly happened. From here, you impulsively went up. And in my opinion, the moment you actually broke the $10.90 level, more or less is actually the moment where you knew, okay, this thing looks like a legit breakout. Going back to the daily, I think this really is our level. Yeah, confirmed here with the wick, confirmed here with the two candle closes, then actually broke out, faked out once, came down, broke out a second time, came back and confirms the trend line. And I think that it will go now, guys. I really do think so. What you can do is play it a bit more risky, put your stop loss at $10 and 70 whatever. If you want to play it cool and you accept a bit more loss and you know, okay, this one you want to hold it, this one is a major sick trade, I would personally just say to myself, okay, you have another very important level of liquidity here, there, here, and here you confirmed it. And I think this is your real level, guys. The $10.56. I'm not saying nothing, but this is my exact entry. Obviously, I'm not able to call these things in the moment when I take those trades. So, for example, I entered it here when I saw, okay, we pushed up once, we pushed up twice, doesn't form a new low, gets wicked up here, comes back down, and this is where I actually entered my trade. So, this is my entry, and I would really recommend you to put your stop at $10.49 here for AVAX. Don't take it too crazy of a leverage. Take something like a 8x, 7x, and just put quite some margin into this trade, and then actually, guys, enjoy the ride. I'm honest with you. If we look back 2 to 3 weeks, I would bet not my left ball, but you know what I mean. I would bet like, I don't know what, but I would really bet that I'm gonna be right here because I'm doing this for quite some years now, and at some point you just see things, and this is what I really see here. I think this is a massive W pattern. Actually broke out, confirmed. Put your stop loss at $10.49 and enjoy the ride. I mean, AVAX didn't pump at all against Bitcoin neither. Looking at it, we see the same thing that I actually saw already against the US dollar. We have more or less the same W structure being repeated. Against Bitcoin, it looks different, but that's totally cool and fine. And here it is as well, the same thing, but obviously a bit different. But still, you have this one side on the left, which is this time higher than the right bottom, left higher than the right bottom. In the middle, you have this super sharp push up, and in my opinion, obviously this looks a bit fucked up, but where we actually are at perfect levels. Okay, we came down to exactly the liquidity level that led to the major push in the last cycle, and in my opinion, this is pretty much common sense to take this trade right here. Also against Bitcoin, it's mimicking the same pattern. And guys, if I just bars it one time and we can have a look and we put it to the size of this W, because I love to do these things. I love to have just the indication, orientation of where things could go. Okay, then you could at least with AVAX here make, and now listen, you could at least make a nice 1.6 times your Bitcoin. So imagine you have 1 BTC and you take this AVAX trade with your Bitcoin, and suddenly you have 2.6 BTC and Bitcoin still rose. So it's quite interesting. If you guys want, I can do this shortly for you here, real quick, so you can see how the fractal would look like if I copy it from where I think we are. All right, so I would copy this fractal here, and then we would put it to breakout point, right there, down there. Okay, so let's go a bit closer in there and actually make it fitting here. think this will make quite some sense. Yeah, more or less like this, guys. More or less like this. Obviously, it's not 100% the same, but it's more or less the same structure anyway. So I would put it more or less like this. If I want to find some kind of sense in it, I would say it is like this, something like that. Okay, so we basically let's see on the 4 hour, maybe we can make it better matching, guys. I mean, we don't have to rush. Um, so yeah, basically, I mean, it's not the exact same. It will never be, but I think all of you guys get the actual point. So I do think this is the W we're mimicking. We might very well see a break here above the $12 level, come back and test this resistance. So now we have this fractal and the resistance of this downwards um downwards ending diagonal, which also had 5 waves down, so the wave count should be full. One, one, I would say somewhere like here, the wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and even lower, a wave 5. So also the wave count within this diagonal is full. I mean, this is just chill. This is very chill. Price is compressing. We are at the moment of breakout. We have confluence against Bitcoin. We are mirroring this pattern. And guys, a pump to the levels of $38, $30, I wouldn't be surprised. So $10.48 stop loss, AVAX, small leverage, not too big, something like 5 to 6, 7x, 8x max, I think is a very good play here. And then besides that, guys, enjoy the ride. I would claim this is gonna play out very nicely. Also, another thing is if we pull up the line from here to there, and we could actually find something like a massive pattern that is forming, and that could actually lead to be the resistance here next spring. And then yeah, I mean, by god, it's totally fine if the market is not able to push higher and we have the recession pricing in, cool. But I think we will have from now to spring and stuff like that, we will have quite some nice push up. So I'm definitely taking this trade down here. I mean, I took it already at $10.50, currently up more than 100% because I took a 10x leverage. But obviously around this level here, where you guys can enter, I think it's smarter to take a bit smaller leverage. But yeah, this setup to me looks super legit. And it's not about being right or wrong, it's just about making money. So I think this is where you make the money. And I wish you a beautiful day, guys. Stay safe, trade safe. Justin Crypto out. Good night.